Ladies and gentlemen, it is your host of Hope Media, Andre Norman. And yes, this is a mom's edition. There's nothing better that we could ever hope for than to see a mom smile. So today, we come to bring you yet another smiling mom who's just phenomenal. I'm saying, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You want to tell the folks who you are?
I do. I am Jennifer Bradley. I'm the mother of Carrington Fry.
Okay. So, where were you born?
Where was I born? I was born in Arkansas, but I've been in Georgia for like 13 years.
You was born in Arkansas.
Yes.
You country girl.
I'm a country girl to my heart.
You North Arkansas, Little Rock, where you at?
In between Little Rock and Pine Bluff, a little small town called Studard. Take out all the T's, it's spelled sugar, so they call it Sugar Town.
Sugar Town.
Yeah.
Got sugar plantations down there?
No, it just, you take out all the T's of Stuttgart and it leaves sugar. So.
Okay. Stuttgart. So what was it like growing up in Stuttgart, Arkansas?
Close-knit community, only like 7,000 or 8,000 people. Actually, it was like 10,000 people when I lived there.
A whole 10,000.
Yeah, a whole 10,000. We didn't have malls or anything like that, so we had to make the best with what we
Y'all
had.
go down in the creek?
We didn't have a creek.
You know, it's Stuttgart. Sugar sound like you should have a creek.
I know, we didn't have one. We would hang out on the lots and stuff like that at the park, play cards,
We didn't even play cards.
spades, play
Oh,
cards.
cards.
Yeah, play
Oh, yeah.
cards.
Cards? Cards.
Yeah,
You country for real.
I'm country.
Listen, my father country, so I'm making fun of you. But he country too. But I didn't really meet country people because I'm from Boston.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So,
Boston.
Boston, we way up there.
Yeah.
We passed New York.
Wow.
I'm by like an hour and a half, 2 hours from Canada.
Never been.
We ain't missing much. Plymouth Rock is up there. Celtics and Patriots are up there. Red Sox are up there, and that's about it.
Okay.
That's about it. So, are you a sports fan?
I'm not much of a sports fan.
Well, from Sugar, Arkansas, I can no sports teams. Arkansas doesn't have pro teams.
We had the Razorbacks.
Nolan Ryan days,
Yes.
Scotty Thurman, Nolan Richardson,
Nolan Richardson, yes.
Cornelius Williamson, Corey Beck.
So you know a lot.
I'm trying to remember your whole team. I know the whole starting five. The boy Stewart, the big boy Stewart.
I don't know a lot of them. I know
Oh, no.
Nolan Richardson, though.
No, I get the team that won. This is the team that won the championship for him. 40, I think it was called 40 Minutes of Hell or 40 Minutes of something. He used to just come at you.
Wow.
It was like Fireball. They were like, he just had them on go.
Now, if you were talking to my brothers or my sisters, they would know, but I've never been much of a sports fan.
You just hung out on the lot.
I did, just hung out on the lot.
So grandma and everybody that's right there.
Everybody, yeah. You know, everybody. I worked in the ER down there, and you would know, like, that's the coach of the football team, or he's married to the school teacher. I mean, you kind of just knew. Most people knew everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
So you went to high school in Sugar, Arkansas?
Went to high school, yep. Sugar Town.
Sugar Town.
Yep.
Oh, Sugar Town.
Sugar Town, yep.
Okay.
High school, college.
So what was high school like?
High school was fun. Like I'm still pretty close with a lot of my classmates in high school.
What did you do? What was your thing?
I think dancing. I was in talent shows and stuff like that. Yeah.
Don't get me started. Hold on. You didn't catch it.
Not that kind of dancing, but yeah, we
What
had a
kind of
little
dance you
group.
do?
We had a little group, and it was called Bad Influence. And
Oh.
we were the typical '90s group. The bow tie with the white long sleeve, button-down shirt,
That was
black
our-
pants, knee pads. Yeah.
Break dancing?
No, just regular hip hop.
Hip-hop
breakdancing.
dancing.
Yeah.
Does your son know? Did he know you was a hip hop dancer?
Yeah.
Is it video, y'all?
It was a video. I don't know what happened to that video.
I gotta check that. So y'all run around the school, the cool girls.
Yeah. Well,
What was your songs? What y'all danced to? What
we
music?
danced. So the last talent show, the song we danced off was Boyz II Men, Under Pressure.
Y'all killed it. Did
We
you win?
killed it. We did not win, but we killed it. We didn't win. I can't remember who won, but we didn't win.
Did you win any of the dance competitions?
No.
Y'all just
placed.
said you were good.
No, we were good. We
just didn't win.
We just didn't win, but we were good.
See, I'm from Boston. We have a team called the New England Patriots. We have 6 championships because we won. We didn't almost win them.
Y'all won.
We won. Almost. See, that's that we call participation trophy stuff. I guess for girls, you can do participation trophies.
Yeah, I mean, we were.
But you had fun.
We did. We had fun.
You date in high school or
I did not date in high school.
not allowed?
I would say that I wasn't allowed. I mean, I wasn't considered a pretty girl in high school, but
You pretty now? Why was you
Well-
pretty then?
thank you. But I didn't date until after I got out of high school.
You go to college?
I did go to college. I went to college in Arkansas, but I went to grad school here in Georgia.
What college did you go to in Arkansas?
University of Arkansas at Little Rock, UALR.
And how was that?
It was good. I actually went to nursing school in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and then I
We're
got
still you going way too for a country girl. You going fast.
Oh.
You going way faster than me. I'm still at Little Rock.
Okay,
You
so
shot ahead of me.
I went to nursing school before I went to UALR, so that's why I backed up a little bit. Then I went to UALR, which was got my bachelor's
And
in nursing.
okay, so what made you want to be a nurse?
Well, me and my younger sister, she's deceased now, rest her soul. We used to play hospital, and we would
The game?
No, we would just act like we were nurses. We would play hospital, and we would use ketchup as the blood, and we would use lifesavers as medicine. And so I always tell people that nursing chose me. I didn't choose
You were
nursing, they chose
squirting
me.
ketchup on people and
Yeah.
hitting them with
We were rubbing it like on our skin, acting like it's blood and stuff like that.
and then hitting with lifesavers.
Yeah, like for the medicine.
What did you? Yeah, there was a game called Hospital. When I was a kid, it was like I'm old, so it was like little. It was a game top, and they had like different, like the heart, the liver, the kidneys,
I remember
and
that
you could
game.
had little tweezers, and you had to go in and take it out.
And you couldn't touch the sides.
You couldn't touch the sides because they were metal. And
Right.
tweezers are metal. If you touch the side,
It would go off.
It buzzed.
I remember that game. That's an old game. But no, we
old.
wouldn't play that game. You're old.
I'm officially old.
You don't look it.
I don't stress.
Okay.
Stressing makes you look older. Plus, I got good genes. Shout out to mom and grandma.
Right.
So, I never heard anybody say they rub ketchup on their house. We used to take ketchup, put it on bread, put a slice of cheese on it, call it pizza. Never did that.
No. Never did.
We used to put plain piece of white bread, put ketchup on it, put a slice of cheese on it, throw it in the oven, give it like 10 minutes. We call that pizza.
It sounds good though.
It worked.
Yeah.
It worked.
Never did that, but it sounds good.
So now you're at Arkansas in college, going for your bachelor's. How's life for you there?
I mean, life was hard because I was in school full time. I was working full time. I was raising two sons.
But see, there you go again.
Yeah.
How you shoot from high school to nursing school to college? Now, oh, by the way, I got two kids. Where did you just find them?
No, I had my kids before I went to school.
Okay.
College, I had my sons.
Okay, let's go back.
Go back.
Were you in high school when you had your kids?
No, I was out of high school.
Out of high school.
Uh-huh.
And between high school and nursing school, you met a guy.
I met a guy who was 10 years older than me, their father.
And what made you like a guy 10 years older than you?
He was nice. I mean, he was just persistent, and he was, I don't know, I just fell in love with him.
He just had that swag.
He had that swag.
was like-
Back then, I thought, yeah,
He's it.
he's it. Yeah, he
So
was
you had
it.
two boys
Two sons, yeah.
and their names?
Jalen and Carrington Fry.
Jalen, Carrington, Fry.
Jalen the oldest, and Sip was the youngest.
And then you had your two boys. Did you stay with dad or that didn't last or what?
I stayed with Dad for like 14 years.
So
before.
through nursing school, through college, you and dad together.
We were together through nursing school, yes. Through college, and then after.
So you
Yeah.
took a break.
Yeah.
Then he came back.
No,
You said 14 years.
yeah.
So how long did it take you to get to college?
I mean, I was done with college by then.
So you're in grad school, home with two kids, raising them on your own.
Yes, and we moved here.
You left Sugar, Arkansas.
I left Sugartown.
Sugartown, I keep forgetting the town part.
Sugartown 2 years after I left their father, and then I moved to Georgia with them.
Why?
Why did I move to Georgia?
Yeah.
Because there's nothing there, and I wanted to show them a different life. I wanted them to have more opportunities.
All right, I'm with that. I don't think there's a lot of going on in Sugartown. They ain't even got a creek.
No, there's nothing going on there.
Ain't that going on there. But they come here. You got family here or you just come?
So I had a nephew here, but he was so young, so it was like not having family here.
So you get here, you get a place to stay, you put them in school, and you're working and you're raising your two kids.
Yeah,
Hard.
very hard.
Then at what point did they start One of them started drifting.
So they both kind of started drifting when we got here, but not the baby drifted more because he was a daddy's boy when he was younger. He was really good in football back then, made the paper and stuff like that. So when I moved here, he was kind of bitter. He was bitter because he wanted me to give Dad another chance. And then he was bitter because I had taken him away from his friends, had a little girlfriend back there.
You took away from a girlfriend?
He had a little girlfriend, a little puppy love, you know.
That counts.
Yeah. So he was bitter, and he thought that he wasn't going to make the football team. He was a kid. He was very athletic.
Did he make your team?
He did, and it was crazy because they said that he wouldn't make. They said when we moved here, the school said it was too late. Like they had already did tryouts. Like they've been practicing all summer. You just can't pop up the beginning of school year. Like it's done. And I said, I need to talk to somebody because I think this might push him over the edge. At that age, I was just really worried. Here no family. So she gave me the athletic director, and she said, you can email him, but I don't think that he's going to go for it. So I emailed him and told him, that I had a kid with a whole lot of passion. He was really good. He made the paper a lot back home. I said, if you see him, I think you would like him. And he was like, well, I can't make any promises, but I'll see him. But I knew that once he saw him that he would like him because he was just that good. I'm not just saying that because I'm
He
his
made
mom.
the paper in Sugartown.
Yeah, the small town.
How hard was it to make the paper in Sugartown?
It wasn't hard, but I knew. So when they seen him, he said, he made running back.
Okay.
Yeah, he was really good. I think he would have went pro. And then he was in gifted and talented, so he was a smart athlete.
Rhodes Scholar.
Yeah.
In the making.
He came here, and they immediately put him in honors.
So he goes through high school. Does he finish high school?
No, he ended up, when he was barely 17, he ended up getting charged with aggravated assault.
So he's 17. He catches a case. Mm-hmm. He goes to the county?
He went to the county jail for 2 years.
So when he first got to the county, who called you and told you your son was arrested?
One of his friends told me. I knew like a situation had happened, and so we knew that it might be soon because what he was into it with these boys back and forth, him and my older son.
But at the end of the day, he gets arrested.
Yes, and then one of his
somebody
friends.
calls you and says he's in jail.
I was at work, yeah. They said the police had picked him up.
And what do you think when you hear that?
That I needed to get an attorney. My heart dropped, because that was one of the things that I fought against, raising black sons.
How are you going to raise? They got to be black sons if you're raising them?
But with black sons, the world is so unforgiving of them. So I knew that was a challenge.
So you were just worried about raising black? Wasn't going to
Them
be
getting
easy.
a raw deal.
So
not getting a fair deal because they were black men. They were black boys.
Gotcha. So he's in the county jail. He calls home. What's that first phone call like?
Scared. He's like, Mom, sorry. We just didn't know what we were going to do. It was a lot of confusion, disappointment, fear.
Was he eligible for bail?
No, they wouldn't give him a bail. They said that he was a threat to the community and he was a flight risk. I mean, can you imagine? A 17-year-old, that's what they told me.
Yeah.
But Derek Chauvin got a bond. But,
You got him a bond?
I said Derek Chauvin, the one that kneeled on a man's neck, got
Okay.
a bond. But my 17-year-old, he couldn't get a bond, no.
So he stays in the county, and he would call home how often? Mm-hmm. How often would he call home?
Every day.
How was those calls? For you?
Elated to hear from him, but painful to know that I couldn't do anything, helpless and hopeless to know that I couldn't get him out. He kept wanting to come home, talk to the judge, talk to them about a bond, but they weren't budging on the bond.
What would happen if he didn't call? How would you feel?
Nervous, because he called all the time. So that made me nervous if I didn't hear from him.
So what you do, walk around with your phone?
No, I mean, I keep my phone on me, but I would just think, wonder what's going on. So I would call up to
You calling the jail?
when he went to prison, I would call if I didn't hear from him.
Like, where my boy at?
Like
Were
I
they
had
receptive
heard from him.
Were they receptive to you calling that, checking on him?
I mean, they couldn't really do anything about it. They would just say, he's fine. I'm like, well, I hadn't heard from him. This is not like him. Because once he got to prison, he called sometimes twice a day. So then a week would go by, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I'd call. And they would, tell me, oh, he's fine. He's just maybe not calling. But then I would find that they were on lockdown or something.
We go on lockdown for a multitude of reasons.
Yeah.
Short staff, weather, fight at the other end of the hallway,
Yeah.
million things. Somebody escapes from another jail, they lock this jail down and send the staff. There's always, listen, if don't nothing else happen, this jail is going to find a way to get locked down sooner or later for some reason. I even think it was a conspiracy. I was home working in a jail during COVID. And when COVID first happened, everybody in the jail thought it was a conspiracy to keep the jail locked down. And the crazy part is I'm working in the commissioner's office, and they're fighting to keep the jails open. But there was the medical orders from so I'm actually seeing it from the other side.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, man, it's a conspiracy because nobody understood what COVID was. They locked the entire jail down. People were like, oh, this is a scam. Then lo and behold, for 2 years, it was super real.
Wow.
But I mean, the new thing is in 2024 and beyond, no joke, every jail is short staffed. So that's like,
Yeah.
and the one I was working at, Bishopville, if 5 people called out, the whole jail would be locked down because they couldn't operate the jail.
Right.
They were short staffed to start with. God forbid 5 people call out, or somebody needs to go to outside hospital. Facility shut down for the night.
That's sad.
That was like an ongoing thing because it's hard to get people to work in jails now.
Yeah. I mean, now it stays short all the time.
So how long was he sentenced for?
So they gave him 10 years, but they knocked off 2 because he stayed in the county jail for
Right.
2. So that meant that he was served 6.
So 10, he had 6 left.
Yeah. So they said serve 6 and he'd be out.
So he went to a state prison?
He went to a state prison.
So he could call again, regular?
He did. He called all the time. Yeah.
Because county is different than the state.
Right. But he called all the time.
And were you happy to get the calls?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. I was happy to get the calls. I would fuss at him sometimes, but not because he was calling, but just I was afraid. Like I always told him, like no matter how little or insignificant you think the rules are, just try to abide by them. You don't want to get more time. You don't want to get yourself in something. It's like, Mom, but it's stupid. Like it doesn't matter that it's stupid. Just try to abide by. So he would call a lot.
Yeah, logic doesn't work well in prison when it comes to the rules.
Yeah, and that's what he told me that I didn't understand, and I see now that I didn't understand a lot.
There's the rule, then there's logic.
Yeah.
The rule does not subscribe itself to logic. Whoever wrote the rule that this is this, that's it. They're not applying circumstantials or mitigating this is the rule. Don't cross that line. That's it. If somebody shoves you, you trip, you fall, you cross the line. They're not there to, is there a mitigating reason? They're not in that space. That's not what prison's about. Let me see why you might have done it. It's like, did you do it, yes or no?
Yeah.
Write them up, and that's it.
So yeah, he would talk about that stuff or certain stuff that they would say. I'm like, son, they're trying to get in your head. Don't let them. Just ignore them. He didn't like when they would say child time. Said it.
What? That's my favorite saying. Child time.
He hated it.
He hated the saying?
He hated the saying. He said it made him feel like an animal. So he hardly ever ate the food there. I would have to put money to have him buy stuff.
I've never heard anybody have that. I'm not taking it from him. Child time. You know what that was? Your son wasn't from that life.
He wasn't.
I'm saying, if you grew up in juvie, snack time, child time, count time, rec time.
He hated it.
You go to county, same thing. Go upstate, it's like you had a good kid.
He was.
That's what it sounds like.
He definitely was.
'Cause child time was something I heard all through juvie.
Yeah.
In the county.
He didn't like it.
He didn't like it. So he used to call him twice a day?
Sometimes more than that. He'd call home a lot, and then when they would get these contraband phones, so it was definitely a lot at that point.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, those things is a whole nother world.
Yeah.
So you get the video visits at all?
We did. We did maybe 1 or 2 video visits.
How was that for you?
It was good. The video visits was good. I preferred to see him in person, so I can kind of look them over. But the video visits, they were good.
All the moms say that. When I do the visit, I want to look him over.
Yeah.
It's like he's a newborn.
I mean, that was my baby. I just felt like I had to make sure that he was the same way that I left him before.
So you just like,
I rub his skin. I look, just look at him and touch him, and
some mom stuff.
yeah, I guess.
I wonder if my mother did that to me. I'm sure she
She
did.
probably did. Yeah,
She just never said that. I'm looking him over.
she probably did. I'm sure she did.
Yeah. No, she used to come see me, but I never realized that she was like checking me out.
But she was doing it. You just didn't know it.
For sure.
Yeah.
So he had 6 left to do, and how much did he do?
He did actually 6.5, almost 7.
How do you get
And
this?
I don't know. They kept, and then they said, well, he earned like 30 credits or something, 10 credits, and he
Going
would
to
get,
work or programs or
yeah,
school?
he would get like 30 days off or something like that. And so when we figured up the time, he would get a year off or something. Each point was a month. Yeah. For every point, you would get like a month off. So when we figured up the time, he should have been getting out like the summer of 2020.
So did he come home summer 2020?
No, he got killed March 2020.
So he was coming home the summer of 2020,
When we calculated the time, yes,
and he died March of 2020. How did he pass?
he was stabbed.
We got in a fight with another inmate?
I mean, it wasn't, from what I was told, it wasn't an altercation. My son made some type of peace offering, they said. This is what one of the officers told me. So there was a lot of stealing going on in the unit. It was about a contraband phone that belonged to my son. They said that my son asked him to remove himself from the unit. And they said, well, that happens with inmates a lot, to keep peace down. So when they say that, remove yourself from the unit, the person goes and put themselves in isolation. So she says, he leaves, the guy leaves, so they're assuming that's what he's doing. But I guess he backtracked with a knife. And they said it caught everybody by surprise. So my son was running, trying to get away. They said it happened like in a split second.
So the facility called you?
No, the
How did
facility
you find
never
out?
called me. I got a call from another inmate who actually called my niece, and she pitched in like a 3-way. He went through his phone and found like a family member, which was my niece, and then she called a 3-way, like hours later.
And he said,
He told me, he said, Miss Bradley, call up the prison and check on your son. He got stabbed, and they said he was dead.
So you called the facility.
Called the facility. They stalled for 2 or 3 times. Wanted to know, how did I find out? Hung up, told me to call back. I told him I'm not getting off the phone until somebody lets me know what's going on. And then finally the warden got on.
And he says,
He said that this is like something along the lines that he hate to make this type of phone call. And I said, where's my son? And he said he's at the morgue.
and what are you thinking now?
Everything. I was thinking everything. Like when he was 9, and he offered me lunch money offered me his lunch money for gas money. I was thinking when he was in school, I was thinking birthing him, his name. I was thinking jumping in front of the knife if I could have. I was thinking everything. Just everything.
There's no good to that. There's no good story in there.
Yeah.
So they release his body and you have a service?
They released his body, and it's crazy because he wouldn't even tell me like what funeral home had him, or I mean what not funeral home, but what coroner's office had him. They didn't tell me that. My nephew's girlfriend had to call around, and that's how we got that. So then I got his body, and I had it flown back to Arkansas,
Sugartown.
to Sugartown. Yeah.
How was the service?
The service was packed. You know, COVID had just started to descend on us when he was murdered. So it was at a gravesite, but it was a lot of people. He was liked. He was really loved. Even in prison, like the other prisoners told me that he had a reputation for helping out other prisoners because he would call me. He would often call me and say, Ma, somebody's going to call you around 9, accept the call. He just needs you to pitch him to his parents and let them know they're okay, that he's okay. Or he say, Ma, text this number, tell them so-and-so wants money on his books. Or Ma, text this number, tell them that so-and-so is okay, we won't lock down. He will always do that. Or, Ma, can you send extra money? So-and-so don't have money.
Every time I called home, when it said collect call from jail, my mother had a notepad and a pen next to the phone. Because it was going to be like a ton of instructions. And
Yeah.
she had the notepad every day.
Yeah,
He sounded like he was a notepad mom.
yeah. So I would just do what he said, because I would want somebody to do it for him if the shoes weren't on the other foot.
So what have you done to help bring awareness to the safety issues or the
So
moms who are struggling?
I've written a lot of stuff, on a blog. I've talked to a lot of parents. I did a petition against the prison and the Department of Justice, like calling for action. Been on the radio, interviewed for a documentary through Tasha, worked with some other organizations. I stay in close contact with one of the investigators for the Department of Justice and send him videos and different stuff that I get.
So now you're an advocate.
I don't know if that's what you...
I would call, you advocating for other people. Your son was an advocate.
No, I'll take that title. I'll do what I can. I have moms stopping me or inboxing me all the time, and they need help, but I don't know what to do to help them, just what I know to do.
So who's helping you?
I have different organizations, like with Tasha. I have National Incarceration Association. Southern Center for Human Rights have been really pivotal. I hadn't did anything this year, but I plan to get back out and do like rallies and different stuff like that. And
So what would you want people to know about your boy?
that despite the charges that he had, despite what they see like on paper, they Google him and they might see this. My son had a heart bigger than the corruption that imprisoned him. You would be safe in an alley with my son. He made mistakes, but those mistakes didn't define him. He didn't allow those mistakes to define him. He hated the word inmate. That's what I wanted them to know, want them to know. Like, they didn't give him a chance. The Judge Hamill, they didn't give him a chance.
You want to write a book? You've been
Maybe
told
one
this.
day.
Well, his story needs to be told.
Maybe one day.
If we wrote a book, what would you title it?
I don't know. I would have to think about that.
We got time. What would you come up with? It's all about him.
Saving Sip.
Save and sip. And the first chapter will be about what? Sugartown?
It'll probably be just him being born and his name, coming up with his name and stuff like that.
And then the second chapter will be about what?
Raising them, as a mom, a single mom.
And the third chapter?
I don't know.
High school. When he gets on the high school football team? That sounds like a real good chapter.
Yeah. He's good in basketball, too. He played the clarinet. He was drums. He was very gifted.
And the fourth chapter?
I don't know.
Come on, just keep walking with me. We got baby in Sugartown. We got mom raising these kids. We got
His
transfer to
relationship
Atlanta.
with his brother. His relationship with his brother.
Family's everything.
Yeah. Everything.
So, and then the next chapter would be
Him graduating in prison with his GED. He graduated salutatorian.
saying,
Some of the things that he went through in there. Although he didn't tell me a lot, because he was always he was very protective, and he didn't want me to worry. So he would keep some things from me.
you got 2/3 of the book done. You got 2/3 of the chapters.
Yeah.
Got your title, 2/3 of the chapters. You got it from here?
Maybe one day. I'll think about that.
Well, all I can do is plant a seed. It grows as fast as it grows. saying you already watering it. You got the seed, you got the water. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna grow.
Yeah, I should do that, huh?
It's, it's a suggestion. I don't do mandatories. I don't do shoulda, coulda. All I do is make suggestions.
Yeah.
And the ones that stick, stick. The ones that don't, don't. I think it might. I'm rooting for that one, but I'm not pushing for it.
Okay.
I'm saying I think a lot of young men inside would love to read that book.
Think it'll be good?
I know it would be good. I'd want to read it.
Okay. So you empowered me, so I might do that.
So for all the guys who are inside, who wish they had a mom like you, who stood up, stood tall, and still moving, what would you want to say to them?
That to be an advocate for themselves, they may not have a mom like mine. You know, they do need to follow the rules. Don't live up to the name that put you in prison. Show them that you're different from that, no matter how much time that you have. Make use of your time. And I keep in close contact with some prisoners, so I do.
Being mom still.
Yeah,
You done adopted a couple more?
I done adopted a couple more.
It's a good thing. And it helps.
Yeah.
So how's it been being here?
It's been good being here. I'm glad that I was invited, but it's been good. You mean like here?
Yeah,
on
and this weekend, this house.
Yeah,
these folks.
it's been good. I'm glad. I always like talking about him. I love telling his story. That's what gives me peace. Like, I like telling his truths, you know, things that he's experienced, just about him, people knowing who he was.
He had a lot of sayings.
A lot of saying.
He had the different sayings he used to say.
So, yeah, he had different lingo. He was like, if you said something that was crazy, he'd be like, "Good night." Or, "Mom, don't be trying to finagle me now." You know, stuff like that.
Sounds like there's a chapter of his quotes.
Yeah. He called me, he say "ma" a lot, but he would mostly say "my dearest."
My dearest.
Yeah. "What's wrong with you, my dearest?" He'd always say. He'd laugh. He's like, "I don't like you coming up here looking like this. I'm in prison. Let me look rough. You're not supposed to look rough, Ma."
Like, you stressing me out, boy. So one of the chapters are going to be his sayings.
Yeah.
My dearest.
Yeah.
Good night.
Yeah.
Stop looking rough. That's my job. Those are you put all sayings in one chapter.
That's what I should. And he was always a motivator. Like a lot of the friends, they said that he always motivated them to do better, even though he was in prison. But that's how he's been all of his life. One of his guy friends called me out of the blue. I hadn't seen him like since they were young. And he used to come to the house when we first moved to Atlanta. And he said, "I wanted to reach out." He's like, he was killed on my birthday. He's like, "I'm getting ready to celebrate my birthday." And he was like, "Do you know this white kid named Brandon?" I say, "Of course I remember Brandon." Brandon called me Brandon crying. He said, "And this like ruined my birthday." He said, "Miss Bradley, you raised some solid boys, you know, and you did really well for yourself and them." He said, "I want to tell you this." He says, "This situation," he said, "when we were younger, all me and Sip did." He said, "Only thing we wanted to do was girls wear clothes and fight." He said, "I'm an engineer living in this house this on the lake." He said, "Somebody's looking out for me." He said, "He didn't get a chance to undo those stupid mistakes. I did." He said, and I kept saying, "I'm going to pull up on him and show him that we can make good decisions and live like this." He said, "But there's one particular time we were about to fight." He said, "This guy was really, really big." He said, and I told Sip, like, "There's no way that I can whoop that guy. He's too big." He said, and Sip looked at me and said, "You know, it's not about how big he is, it's how you view yourself." He said, and that has been the backdrop of my life, that statement. And I told him, I said, he probably got that from me saying, it's not the size of the dog, it's the fight in the dog. He said.
It's going in the book. Listen, you're writing the book right now. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you are witnessing the book being written in real time. Are you hearing the book? You're hearing it in book format now?
Yes, I am. I'm seeing it.
It's,
Yeah.
did the vision come?
Yes, I see the vision.
You see the vision.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for the book.
Okay. I'm going to work on it.
Yeah, you got it. You got quotes, you got stories. Come on. Everything is going to flow. You just need the door to open. And like you said, you love telling his story. Well, there's going to be millions of people who are going to love reading his story.
Yeah.
Because it has to get exhausting telling it to everybody, but you can just write it down and hand it to them.
Yeah. I still probably would tell it, but
I'm not saying you won't tell it, but
Yeah.
you can hand it to them. Here's the story.
That
Then if you
makes
make it an
sense.
audiobook, I can hit a button
and listen to
and
it.
the whole tribe can listen to it. All 650,000 people can hear that book
Oh, wow.
and that story.
Okay.
So after you write it, we'll do an audio version. We'll put it on the platform.
Okay, you got my attention now. Yeah. Okay.
Nothing like a proud mom.
I'm gonna work on it.
I'll be waiting for you.
Okay.
Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm saying
Thank you. Happy to be here.
you'll be back
Okay.
because you got to bring me that book
Yes, I do. I got to get you the book.
for sure. But, ladies and gentlemen, it is your host of the Mother's Edition of Hope Media, Andre Norman, and y'all have a blessed night.